Hello, everybody, and welcome to the PHLY Eagles show, live from the Xfinity mobile studio and presented by Bet365 and Ashley. This is Bo Wolf and EJ Smith. What do you know? Snowed in again. EJ, how you doing?
I'm doing well. I had to go beanie today. It's cold in my house, and it's not usually cold in my office. You know, the longtime EJ fans will remember. You know, the few of them that are out there
The EJ, yeah, go ahead.
will
The EJ
remember that
heads.
on the the EJ heads. I don't know about that one. They'll remember that on my previous podcasting association, every once in a while, my wife's hand would like appear in the background to turn the fan on. If it got really hot in my office, I would like
Okay.
text her and be like, "Can you just cut the fan on really quick if you don't mind?" So, but not today. No
Cut
fans today.
it on.
Gotta cut the fan on.
How do
Is
you
that
feel
a
about the other like names for the beanie? What do you have a ranking
skull
of
cap
those?
beanie?
Toque?
Never heard of toque
I
actually.
think that's a Canadian,
Okay, I don't
I
hate it.
believe.
It's kind of fun.
I like a toque.
I don't like skull cap. What
I
about
don't like skull cap either.
Scully? Scully's not terrible. It's better than skull cap.
Mm.
It's like I don't know. It's not actually a
Sound off
cap
in
for
the
your
comments.
skull.
Let us know below what's your favorite name for a beanie. And that'll do it for the PHLY Eagles podcast. We'll talk to you tomorrow at 2 o'clock as the Eagles offensive coordinator search rolls on. Who will it be?
Does it feel like
Tune in to
Groundhog
find
Day
out.
to you? Like
What is that?
I rolled out of bed this morning, and an early riser these days. I'm doing well with that, and I hopped on with Cuz, and he's asking me about the
Hopped
OC
on with Cuz
search,
on PHLY with a beanie
cup of
and a
coffee.
cappuccino in hand.
He asks me about the OC job, and I say,
Talked
I don't
about
know,
Jalen
man.
Hurts again. Is he gonna get traded?
um, but no, like it kind of feels like Groundhog Day a little
Talked
bit.
about Joe Burrow for the first time.
Don't bring up Joe
Is
Burrow
he
on this
gonna
one.
be on the museum steps? I don't know.
No Joe Burrow
It's
talk today.
hard. I'm going to be honest. I'm going to be honest with you, each. I'm going to be honest with the audience.
Okay,
Hard to muster up the energy today.
I think that's fair.
Here's the big question, though, from CDP. We got a super chat right away, and why don't we just go ahead and make it the big deal on a Wawa Wednesday?
Love that.
There it is. The big question. In week 17, 2021, Sean Mannion's poor play against the Packers clinched a playoff spot for the Eagles. Can Mannion get the Eagles into the playoffs again? And this, of course, on the heels of Sean Mannion coming to Philadelphia for a second date. Will he and the Eagles get in bed together? EJ, what do you think?
I do like these reality dating analogies that we've stumbled upon here. I mean, it's obvious that they're interested in Sean Mannion. It seems like he went through the initial Mike McDaniel virtual interview circuit, and now he is coming in for the in-person interview, which again shows real interest. To me, I think that this interview is going to have to answer a lot of the questions that we have about Sean Mannion, how he would be commanding a room, working with Jalen Hurts and Nick Sirianni, working to really overhaul the Eagles' offense. You know, evolve the Eagles' offense, as Nick Sirianni said in the year-end press conference. So, there's a lot of questions. He is about as inexperienced a coach as you would expect to interview for an offensive coordinator job, but as we talked about yesterday, he's got great experience working, with different staffs and under different coaches as a player. I think that experience is really what he's going to have to sell, and the Eagles are going to have to again answer these questions on how he will be being in front of a room, so consistently as an offensive coordinator.
Now, this also comes with the Eagles having requested an interview, reportedly, with Davis Webb from the Broncos. We haven't heard whether that has been granted yet or not, although it certainly did seem like the Broncos firing Joe Lombardi seemed to be paving the way for them to keep Davis Webb, but they have to go through their process there. All of it leads to it doesn't feel like there is a guy the Eagles feel like they have up their sleeve. Right. They are going through the process, which is what they should do. And again, I don't want to say that that's a bad thing, but they're really properly vetting all of their options, and there's clearly no one who is blowing them away.
Yeah, no, I think that that's fair. I think I think it's like, given the Eagles' history, it wouldn't have surprised one of us if maybe a Davis Webb just came swooping out of nowhere and the Eagles had, done the legwork to get him. Like kind of like the Vic Fangio situation a couple of years ago, where it's like, oh man, like they actually did have a real plan after all. And I think that this one is more like we've kept comparing it to the Nick Sirianni coaching search, where it's they're either my guess is they're probably waiting for someone to blow them away in these interviews, and Sean Mannion might do that, and if that's the case, then I'm sure that will be front and center of when they roll whoever it is out. If it's Sean Mannion, I think that they probably will say, like, you should have heard what he was saying in the interview room, right? He somebody who, when he gets on that whiteboard, you can just tell that he's going to do a great job installing an offense. So again, unknowns for us, but for the team, that's what these interviews are for. I want to ask you what you think about the like this, like, oh well, it's basically like free consulting that they're getting here, like this is just their opportunity to hear from as many minds as possible. I feel
The
like,
marketplace of
well,
ideas
I've
in
said marketplace of
football.
ideas a lot, but you know what I mean. Yeah, it's a little bit like, I feel like I'm starting to hear that a lot about this offensive coordinator search.
Yeah, I think that's cope is what that is. I mean, it's true that it's worth talking to a lot of different people, but like, oh man, if we don't talk to Frank Smith, then we're not going to know what what to do on offense next season. I feel like that's
Yeah, that's a
overstating it a
good
little
point.
bit.
It's like, if
Like,
you bring in Sean Mannion, are you really going to be like, well, like, what the thing that Frank Smith mentioned about outside zone, I don't know, should really keep that in mind.
I honestly, I think what the Eagles take away from that stuff more than, oh, these are their thoughts on how to proceed with us on offense or what their thoughts on our roster are fact finding about the way that other organizations are run.
Sure, yeah.
I think
And that
that's
is
I think
valuable.
that's it's valuable, but I think that's more important. As you said, if you hire Sean Mannion or you hire, you know, Matt Nagy or whatever it is the fact that Frank Smith brought something up, like some cool idea, is that going to come up? No.
Right.
But is it like, oh, this is the way that we think about things, or I don't know. It's
Yeah,
I think you're
but I
talking about
think,
things on the margins, but still worth going through.
yeah, I think you're right. I think that is a good way of looking at it, is you're learning about the operational stuff from other organizations, but for that reason, I do think it can be overstated. Like, oh man, like they're just doing this because they want to hear from as many voices as possible about, what they do with the offense. I think that stuff can get overstated. It's not like they're not hiring somebody because of the fact that, like, they want to just get a few more, like, bites at the apple here. I think that it is reflective of the way the search has gone for them.
Hmm. All right, well, let's close the deal on the big deal presented by our friends at Wawa. All right, EJ, that'll do it for this episode of the PHLY Eagles Show. We will talk to everybody tomorrow at 2 o'clock. Oh no, we have more. We still got another 51 minutes.
I'm gonna bring it today. I'm
How are
gonna
we
have
gonna get through?
lots of analysis, lots of insight. Yeah.
I do. People in the chat are like, you said it was good process yesterday. I do. I do think it's good process. I think it is good process given the way that things have gone so far. It's
Yes, I
just
agree.
it's indicative of it hasn't gone exactly the way they wanted it to go.
Yeah, we said it yesterday, like it's gonna be like a lot of both things can be true with this, because I think the fact that this is now week 3 of the offensive coordinator search,
Hmm.
I think it is making people feel strongly.
Well, I'm thinking if they get to week 4, then all of a sudden Nick's gonna have to shave his head again.
Maybe that will be the thing that makes the difference. Maybe Nick Sirianni shaves his head, and all of a sudden Mike McDaniel's like, you know what? I'll give those guys a chance. I know I
Hmm.
did my introductory press conference, but yeah, maybe there's a chance.
Oh, I got a good. I like this super chat that we're gonna discuss about Bill Belichick from Andy. So let's take a break here. We'll come back. We'll talk about that later in the show, in the C block, as it were. We will hear from Fran Duffy, who was down at the Senior Bowl. He's got some eyes on guys. He wants to tell you who you need to know, the players who have impressed him so far. Lots to come. Please stay with us. Going to be a weird one.
Well, it used to never be ordinary at Bet365.
until I messed up this ad read for the very first time ever. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to do it again. Because Bet365 has 90 million users worldwide and live stream over 780,000 events each year with early payout offers across the NBA and NHL. And they've got a great early payout offer in the football bets you make, where if your team goes up by 17 points or more, you get paid out whether they win or blow the lead. Doesn't matter. Maybe your heart hurts if the Eagles blow a 21-point lead to the Cowboys. Your wallet, not so much. Breaking news from Bet365. New customers now get $200 in bonus bets, whether your bet wins or loses when you bet $5. Sign up, use the code PHLY365, deposit $10 and place a bet for $5 to get $200 in bonus bets if your bet wins or loses. Bonus bets can be used on the spread, totals, player props, futures, and more. Whatever the moment, it's never ordinary. At Bet365, must be 21 or older and physically located in Pennsylvania. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem and wants help, call 1-800-GAMBLER.
New year, big goals, but no time to cook? Factor can make it easy with fully prepared meals designed by dietitians and crafted by chefs so you can eat well without shopping or cooking. Quality, functional ingredients including lean proteins, colorful veggies, whole food ingredients, and healthy fats. It's a service I've used personally. I can assure you it's great for people with busy lives. My wife is actually going to be out of town for a couple of days here, and Factor's going to come up huge for me in the next few days. They've got great nutrition, which is why 97% of customers say that Factor helped them live a healthier life. Feel the difference no matter your routine. We use them and you should too. Head to factormeals.com/PHLY50 off and use code PHLY50 off to get 50% off your first Factor box plus free breakfast for 1 year. The offer is only valid for new Factor customers with the code and qualifying auto-renewing subscription purchases. But again, make healthier eating easy with Factor.
Welcome back to the PHLY Eagles podcast. I'm Wolfie J. Smith. Day 74 of the Eagles offensive coordinator search as we continue to bunker in here, hoping for something to come. Let's move away from that for a second. A little around the NFL discussion here, EJ.
Yeah.
Super chat from Andy P. The media members spouting faux outrage over Bill Belichick first ballot nonsense are the very ones he talked down to his entire career. He'll get in next year. It'll be okay. Spare me, you dorks. What do you think?
I want to hear what you think. I feel like you will have more of a take on this than I do.
I think Andy is exactly correct.
Yeah.
The Bill Belichick not getting in first on the first ballot is the only thing it is funny. It's very funny. It doesn't matter. The sanctimony is so silly. Yeah, he'll get in, and it's the same. I think DFOP Sam brought this up. Bill Parcells didn't get in on the first ballot because voters thought that he was still trying to get back into the league. Bill Belichick wants to get back into the league too. That could be part of it. If you are, handing down an imaginary penalty for years and years of cheating, and this is your way of doing it, fine. Listen, there's all kinds of guys in the Baseball Hall of Fame who deserve to, like Barry Bonds is not in the Hall of Fame. Roger Clemens, no, I don't like Roger Clemens. I'm happy that Roger Clemens is not in the Hall of Fame, but he's not in the Hall of Fame. Manny Ramirez is not in the Hall. A-Rod, that's fine. It's fine. Who cares? It's Bill Belichick. It doesn't matter. It's very funny.
Yeah,
and it is also and listen, resume-wise, of course, he belongs in the Hall of Fame. But I think we can all just acknowledge how funny it is that we spent 2 decades of discourse about who's more important for that dynasty, and then we just got an answer. This never happens. It's an imaginary topic for 20 years, and then we just got the answer. The quarterback left and won a Super Bowl. The other guy got ran out of town and can't get UNC over 500. Enough.
I said exactly this to Julia yesterday. I was like, it's really funny that Tom Brady went and won a Super Bowl without Bill Belichick, and it just answered a question that we spent decades talking about. I think sanctimonious is the right word for it. I've seen a lot of well, this just ruins any credibility that the Hall of Fame had. How is this possible? I can't believe that the Hall of Fame would do this. And it's like, are we since when is the Hall of Fame this unimpeachable?
Come on.
Oh man.
It's run by or at least at one point was run by an ogre. Maybe Belichick's happy he's not going to get eaten.
That's the guy who interviewed Zach Berman, right?
Yeah.
But no, I was just like, come on, guys. Like, do we not like we shouldn't have that much faith in the institution of the Hall of Fame that like, Bill Belichick now like we all agree he belongs in the Hall of
It's
Fame. Like, I
fine.
didn't think that like there needed to be like hand wringing about like
Yeah.
the
It's
Hall of
it's
Fame.
it's a story. It's worth a story. It is.
Yeah.
It's very interesting. And I'm sure that the most interesting thing is like the behind the scenes voting block politics of it, and like Robert Kraft maybe like angling to make this happen.
Yeah.
All of that stuff is interesting. But yeah, the outrage, like how dare they treat Bill Belichick like this?
I
It's
can't believe
ridiculous.
this. How could this happen? No.
It's great for him. This gets people on his side. Now everybody will be talking about how great he is and how much of a travesty it is. If he got in
Yeah.
this year, it'd be like, oh, there's the creepy old guy with the super young girlfriend.
Yeah. Julia asked me if it was because of his girlfriend that he didn't get in. And
Great take.
honestly,
Love that.
yeah, but honestly, no. Mike Sando did a nice job of the Athletic. Did a nice job of breaking down like there's a lot of things to play here. Maybe some voters didn't want to have him on because of the cheating. Maybe some of them didn't want to have him on because of settling old scores. But there's also people who will be prioritizing like senior NFL players that are going to be off the ballot soon. And there are probably some people who said, yeah, he's probably trying to get back into coaching, so I'm not voting for him this year. So
Well,
I
and when
think
you
that
make your
it's
entire personality for the entirety of your career being an a-hole to everybody,
yeah,
maybe you're gonna make some enemies along the way.
yeah, couldn't agree more. So I don't know. It's funny, but I think we don't have to take it quite so seriously.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
mean, like read one news article. It's fine. This doesn't matter. Oh, Bill Belichick's not gonna get on the first ballot. Oh my God, nothing makes sense anymore.
Yeah, exactly.
Like,
Nothing makes sense anymore. Is exactly. It's like, come on, guys. Like, it's gonna be all right.
ridiculous. A question from Idiot Sandwich, EJ, and I think we probably both had this sent to us multiple times today,
Yeah.
and that is the thoughts on Adam Schefter teasing news beyond offensive coordinator during his hit on 97.5 today. If you didn't see this, he's like, "Oh, we'll talk next week. Maybe OC news." He's like,
Yeah,
"Maybe
he's like
more."
something bigger. Yeah, maybe something bigger than OC
Yeah.
news.
How much of a pet peeve of this is this for you? The hinting at something that you won't say.
Yeah, it is a little bit like, do you have it or do you not have it? I think that's a Jimmy Kempski tweet from a few
Right.
years ago. It's like I hate when people do that, like either say it or don't. I mean, as like a reporter around the team, I actually don't hate it quite as much because it is at least like a little bit of like a, hey, like this is the way I would describe it is like almost like a free hit. Like you get to text everyone you know, and you get to be completely ridiculous
Oh,
about
interesting.
like, could
Okay.
it be this? Could it be that?
Yeah, yeah,
Like
yeah.
so in a way it can be helpful, I guess.
Oh, well, let's do it. Let's completely speculate. Now, first of all, um we do this a little bit too, so I don't want to be you know, just just lying to you. But I
Mhm.
think when we do it, it's more like we have tried to address it without reporting the actual thing, if that
Yes.
makes sense. Not just stay tuned because there's going to be some news next week that you got to pay attention to. But anyway, um, okay, let's say it. They're trading Jalen Hurts.
That would be probably the second biggest thing that I was
The
wondering if it would be.
second biggest thing that it could be. And
I
by the
mean,
way, obviously the trade deadline, you can't trade people, but
yes, you could
these
agree to a
things do
trade.
break sometimes if it's like the teams have agreed in principle. I remember Alex Smith, this happened when the Eagles were at the Super Bowl in 2017 or the February of 2018. That was one. And then the
Yeah.
the Stafford Goff one also happened sort of around this time, right?
Yeah, right. So there is precedent for agreements to be made at this
Right.
point, and for them to be official and at the start of the league year. I do think that Jalen, again, these are things that are not going to happen, or at least we don't think will happen. But I do think that the number one for me would be Nick Sirianni gets traded.
gets traded
I mean, we are
to who? The
talking
Raiders?
totally like outlandish, crazy things that could happen. I don't think these are going to happen.
Okay, so this is interesting, EJ. Our show has ended.
Yes, I am aware of that. I was trying to just plow through it.
Something happened on the back end.
Yeah.
Someone did something they shouldn't have done, and now the show is over. But we can continue, and hopefully this turns into the audio at least. Anyway,
Yeah.
go ahead.
Yeah.
We'll finish it out.
Yep. I think that's fine. So in this, tinfoil craziness, do you think that like Nick getting traded to either, I mean, I guess the Cleveland job just got snatched up. The Raiders, let's say the Raiders. The Raiders have some
Isn't that the only one
organizational.
left? Oh, Arizona.
Yeah, but I'd say the Raiders. They've got some organizational connections to the Eagles. They've got some former front office execs in that
True.
building. So, do the Raiders trade for Nick Sirianni? I don't think it's going to happen. I don't. I've got actual guesses, and maybe some insight on this, but I don't think that Nick is actually one of the things on the table. But again, it's fun. You don't often get to text someone and say, "Do you think this is going to happen?" So, for that reason, it was an interesting morning.
Sorry, I'm trying to address
No,
this
it's all good. Yeah.
situation here. This is outrageous.
Yeah.
Anyway, another super chat from Ian. Oh no, hold on. We gotta run down the other possibilities here.
Yeah.
That's where we were.
Let's
Okay,
let's do like the
okay.
more
So
realistic ones.
Nick and Jalen getting traded, those would obviously rise to the occasion. Um, Lane.
I don't think it's going to be Lane.
Okay.
I don't think I'm not saying that I don't think that Lane is considering retirement. I mean, we've talked on the show. I've reported on the show that it's something that is on the table this offseason. My understanding is it's going to be a longer decision than just right now. I don't think that anything is imminent. I think he's going to get married this offseason. I think he's probably going to take his time with that decision. So no, I don't think it's Lane announcing his retirement in the next week. I think that's not the timeline from what I understand.
Okay. What about Jeff Stoutland?
I don't think it would be Stoutland, but I'm not as convicted in that one. But yeah, I mean, I think a coach retirement is an interesting one. Again, these are guesses for me. Like, it's not educated guesses. Like, Vic Fangio or Jeff Stoutland retiring, I think would be big news. Obviously, would be big news. Probably, I mean, I think it would be bigger than even the offensive coordinator search in terms of being a surprise and being news.
Mm-hmm.
I don't necessarily like. I don't know. The Christian Parker leaving would make me wonder if it were Vic, but I mean, it's possible that Christian Parker would have wanted that opportunity and wouldn't have wanted to wait around to see if Vic was retiring. But so that's an interesting one. Stoutland again. It's like I don't know. I
Just
just
big, the way he says bigger than OC. Yeah.
yeah, that doesn't
I
feel
don't
like
know.
what it
The
would be.
same thing with an AJ, like an agreement in principle on an AJ deal.
I think that one could be real. I mean,
Yeah.
like the biggest thing for that for me is like if Howie's going to agree to an agreement to a deal months before the deal can be
Yeah, I don't
finalized,
think that's gonna happen.
he would have had to been blown away by the offer. Could it be an AJ trade request? Could it be like
Mm.
AJ is about to put his official trade request out there?
That's
I think that
interesting.
could be it.
Could it be Dylan McMahon coming back?
I don't know if Schefter's as much on the Dylan McMahon hive as you, but maybe,
Yeah.
yeah,
I don't know. The things that rise to bigger than OC, like
yeah. There's not a
Howie
ton.
leaving.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think that's gonna happen.
Too late.
Not saying
Yeah.
never say never, but yeah.
Jeffrey handing it over to Julian.
I did wonder that. If this is a guess, it's not an educated guess, but I don't think so. Stadium news, could they be announcing a new stadium?
Stadium. That's interesting. Okay. Do you think anyone will ever listen to this? Will ever hear this
Yeah, I'm
discussion that we're
sure.
having?
No, we've got. I'm gonna sound like my predecessor here. We've got a
Mhm.
great audience. They will find the show and they will enjoy the show.
Well,
So, and I appreciate them for
I'm just
that.
talking about logistically. Will that happen? But apparently, we're still being streamed on Fast.
Okay,
So
that's
there we
great.
go.
Yeah.
That's good. That means we can still
Hello to our fast
throw
audience. Yeah.
to Fran later. Okay. Next super chat. Ian Theodoritis. How does money factor in? Oh, doesn't it? Am I right? Everything we do, that's everything. That's
To the
welcome
OC
to
search?
welcome to capitalism, man. It says, how does money factor in? Can't the Eagles just compensate for organizational deficiencies by making someone the highest paid OC? Now, part of the deal here is if you're talking about the guys who have been fired recently, especially like Dable and McDaniel, they're getting paid no matter what they make. So they're getting paid that severance. So there's nothing you can offer to entice them. You could argue that with if you wanted Declan Doyle, it could have come down to money.
Sure.
That's
Yeah.
possible.
But even if you're Declan Doyle, you're thinking, what is my quickest pathway to becoming a head coach where you'd make exponentially more? A career setback, by the opportunity cost of a career setback is also part of this.
Yeah.
You see that opportunity cost drop there.
Ooh, OC.
Yeah, not the only capitalist
OC.
on this show. I probably actually am the only capitalist on this show.
Yeah. Okay. There you have it. I do think that the Eagles do have a reputation for paying assistant coaches
Oh,
at a higher
absolutely.
level.
Yeah, I don't
most of the
know
teams
if
would.
it moves the needle as much for a lot of the guys that they've been trying to land here. For like the Sean Mannions of the world, even like Josh Grizzard, yeah, I'm sure that's probably part of the what entices them for the job. But yeah, for the guys like you said, the guys who have been just fired, doesn't make as much of a difference.
All right, let's go to our next break. We'll come back on the other side, and we will be joined by the man, the myth, the quads, Fran Duffy, down at the Senior Bowl. Stay tuned if you're out there.
What if you could have reliable and intelligent Wi-Fi? And what if you could keep it at the same price for 5 years? Well, good news. That is the Xfinity 5-year price guarantee. Imagine Wi-Fi that makes everything in your home work together, that finds and fixes problems before you even notice them, like super intelligent Wi-Fi with a sixth sense. Shout out M. Night Shyamalan. We know you're a Philly man. And Wi-Fi that lets you stream the game even when the whole family is online. All of your devices in perfect harmony for 5 whole years. And here's the best part. No annual contracts. No hidden fees. None of that stuff. And Xfinity's best equipment included. Lock in your price and unlock the possibilities with Xfinity. Learn more at xfinity.com. Xfinity, imagine that. Legal. Select plans only. Restrictions apply. Two of the great American traditions. Two things we love. We love a deal. And I would say even more than that, we love a breakfast sandwich. And that is where our friends at Wawa come in. Because at Wawa, from 5 to 11, you can get any sizzly plus any size coffee, hot or iced, and a hash brown for just $5. Now, I recommend I didn't have the bacon, egg, and cheese sizzly the other day. Ooh, I love a breakfast sandwich. And I love a deal. That's where Wawa is saving my mornings, because I know the mornings are a scramble for everybody out there. You pop into Wawa, you get that deal, and you start your day off right. So, no need to overthink breakfast. Just grab, go, and get on with your day. And by the way, if you want something sweet, they've got great flavors for your coffees as well. Wawa. Gotta have it. Gotta have a Wawa.
We're back on the PHLY Eagles podcast, joined by our man on the scene, Fran Duffy, down in Mobile at the Senior Bowl. Before we get to your thoughts on day one of practice, do you have drawers this week? Let me see.
I have drawers, which is great. I've got like a nice sized desk. I've got normal pillows this week.
Okay.
So
If you wanna,
huge upgrades.
Moving on up.
No free advertising. To quote one of our friends, no free ads. But from one hotel chain to the next, a noticeable difference, even though the size of the city is a lot different from one to the next.
Very interesting. Okay, let's get to it. You had the first day of practice yesterday. You're about to go out for day 2, but let's unpack what you saw down there at the Senior Bowl. Who are some of the guys who really move the needle for you one way or another. And I guess we can start with someone we talked about yesterday as a potential, round 1, round 2 possibility for the Eagles, and that's Demetrius Crownover from Texas A&M.
Yeah, I think the Crownover will probably end up on day 2 just because of what I imagine he's going to test like during the course of the process. I don't think that he's going to be like a freak show athlete. I think he'll test fine. But he had a good start yesterday, I thought. Watching him both in person and then on film this morning, he played both left tackle and right tackle, which is important. He played primarily right tackle when he was at A&M. So being able to show that swing versatility was big. And I thought that he overall just had a really good day. Watching him in the one-on-one sessions, I thought he held up well. I think he got beat one time in 4 or 5 reps. He took a lot of reps, which that's always good too. For the guys that are the big ticket players down here. Sometimes those guys come down and you'll go through a one-on-one session and maybe they take 1 rep or 2 and then they're like, yep, that's good, because they don't want to get embarrassed. They don't want to have a bad loss that goes viral. So I always like the guys like Gray Zabel was one of those guys last year where he was one of the better players here and he took every single rep he could. Quinyon Mitchell took every single rep he could when he was down here. So I like seeing the guys that are the big name players that get back in line right away and they're like, all right, let give me the next one. And Crownover was one of those guys. So I did like that. I thought he was good. And then even going back and rewatching a lot of the team drills as well, he was getting good movement at the point of attack. This is, by the way, Clint Hurt and Jamal Singleton's group. He's on the national team.
Okay.
He did a lot of run play action periods yesterday. So I got to see Crownover in a lot of run plays, a lot of run blocking situations. Got some good movement, double teams, getting guys off the ball. So I thought Crownover had a nice start.
What has been Clint Hurt's sort of head coach presence down there?
Yeah, it was he made his presence felt early on with a couple guys, in terms of hey, run this play out, get your mouthpiece in, so he's getting after guys a little bit. I would say it wasn't the most there was a decent amount of walkthrough and stuff like that yesterday. So I'm hoping for a really spirited session today. They were in uppers only for the first day of practice, so upper pads only. They didn't have the leg pads on. So I'm interested to see what those guys look like when it's a little bit more live here on Wednesday.
And how about Jamal Singleton? Are there boxing mitts out there? Are there any ball security drills that are familiar to Eagles players and Eagles fans here?
No boxing mitts that I saw. It's funny because whenever you see the running back coach becomes offensive coordinator, defensive coordinator becomes head coach, those kinds of things. They always still kind of it's like Nick Sirianni always going to the receiver position during individuals. So running back, it's quarterback running back exchange, and you see Jamal Singleton over there keeping an eye on those running backs. But from what I saw, he definitely let the running back coach for the national team do his work. This is your drill. So no boxing gloves, at least on Tuesday.
Gotcha. And who are some of the other guys that stood out to you? I mean, I got the list. We talked about some of these guys already.
I want to know about the small school guys. Give me the guys who are coming to the Senior Bowl with a chip on their shoulder to prove that they can belong.
Well, what's interesting about that though, guys, is that those players are kind of few and far between now, just because of the nature of college football and the transfer portal. A lot of those guys kind of filter up. I talked with Drew Fabianich on the All NFL Draft podcast that went up earlier this week, and he used a line that I thought he was like, the colleges are doing that work for me now, where they are kind of weeding through who are those top players and they're pulling them up through the transfer portal.
First year on the job, and the guy's already looking for other people to do the work for him.
Look, that's not a bad business strategy. I think to me, the two guys that stand out in that way, though, Delby Lemieux, the center from a little bit of a hockey name, but Delby Lemieux, the center from Dartmouth. So we got an Ivy League center who I hadn't done it all, and he looked pretty good. In one-on-ones, I thought he held up well. He was mostly at center. He did get some guard reps, and there was in a team drill where he got up to the second level against Jacob Rodriguez. It was one of the best linebackers in college football this past year, and got up to him and latched onto him. So I thought Delby Lemieux flashed. And then a wide receiver that I had not studied from John Carroll. So he's probably a future offensive coordinator, GM candidate.
Off the Eagles board, presumably.
Yeah, right. But it's a wide receiver from John Carroll. You guys know, for warm-ups, special teams periods, I'm writing down constant notes, all right, body type, all right, so what does this guy's quads look like? What do his calves look like? What's the upper body look like? Just as many notes on the guy's body as I can.
Are you front row? You go down low.
I've got the binoculars. So I go to the top. I stay up and I go binocular. But
I think it's okay to pause for a second.
Okay.
And just acknowledge how creepy that is. just binoculars so that you can write down notes on guys' quads. But
the bubble.
that's part of the job.
Got to check out the bubble.
That's part of the job. And no, there's no doubt about it that it's important work. But I think we can also, from a bird's eye view here, be like, yeah. Imagine if this wasn't a football practice and you were just doing that.
Well, yeah, that would be problematic.
What you're into.
Thankfully, it is a football practice. That said, when Tyrann Montgomery, walks over for the first time, I was like, it's because some guys you look at and you're like, oh, like this guy is built for power. This guy is his body is built to withstand a bull rush. This guy's body is built for speed. I saw Montgomery and I was like, this guy is built for speed. Like he's got skinny calves. He's got good looking quads. He's got a solid bubble. So I'm like, yeah, like this guy is built for like straight line speed. And he looked good. He had a couple of nice plays where he separated down the field here in this session. He had some nice reps in one-on-ones. There was a team drill. I was watching it. Look, when I'm going through watching live, it's like, all right, tight end makes a catch down the seam, or the running back catches a pass in the flat. So then when I go back and watch the film, all right, yeah, that's fine. That's what play this is. What else is going on around? And there were a couple plays where Tyrann Montgomery, like he runs like a stutter go on the backside of a play going the other way, and he dusted a corner from UNC. Like there were just a couple of plays where I'm like, all right, like this guy's got the goods. So I'm excited to see what he looks like the rest of the week.
How big of a guy are we talking?
He was like 6'1". I've got the measurables here. He was like 6'1". I want to say right around 200. All the measurables for the quarterbacks, running backs, and receivers are in the draft guide. All the others, I'm still kind of getting those in. I prioritize the practice notes over the game notes as much as I could over the measurables, but they'll all be in the next couple of days.
We got to remind people about this again because this is the living, breathing Fran Duffy NFL draft guide, which you can get on allphly.com if you're a subscriber. It's not just. I mean, there's so much in there. It's the measurements. It's the scouting reports. It's the rankings. It's those practice notes. It's crazy that your baby.
All the Shrine notes are finally in. Like everything is in. I made sure I got that done during the Shrine Bowl during the game last night. So if you go into the draft guide, like every single player that saw the practice field, I wrote like a 2 or 3, 4 sentence blurb on that player, and it's in the draft guide. So literally you can say like, oh, like how did this guy look? Literally go in and it's right there. You can see exactly how I felt about just seeing them up close in person at the Shrine Bowl last week.
So is this John Carroll guy the guy who, of all the guys who you will see this week who you didn't do beforehand, you were most excited to go back and do?
From Senior Bowl, potentially. I'll let it play out a little bit because there were a couple guys from Shrine that I like. It was a little bit of a slow burn to get me there. And they weren't the guys I would have felt that way about after day one. So I'll let it speak to me over the next couple of days. It's like your draft crush. It's like your training camp.
You got to wait for it to happen.
The heart wants what the heart wants.
Yes.
Were there any other receivers, Fran, that stood out to you during one-on-one reps or any portion of practice there?
Yep, good question. So I would say the one big catch down the field happened from Texas Tech wide receiver Caleb Douglas, who I personally didn't love on film, but he's a big body. He's 6'3" and change, over 200 pounds. He went up over. It was the first throw of the day, honestly, for the national squad off play action. It was a deep shot play, and he went up and got it. And that's one of those plays where you want to see that guy make that play. And so that was certainly big for him. I would say that would be the other big flash from the day.
And then you also like the Baylor guy, right? Josh Cameron.
Good one. Yeah. So Josh Cameron, the wide receiver from Baylor. He's another one where I kind of struggled with him on film where the ability is there. I mean, he's like 6 foot, 6'1", but he's 225 pounds. So it's like a Deebo Samuel like type of body type in terms of you talk about like
talk
lower
about
half.
A bubble.
Yeah, I mean, talk about bubble. Like this kid's got the bubble, and he's got that ability to play like those explosive bursts show up. The route running, not great. He had some issues with drops over the course of his career. I didn't love him as a blocker. So like there were things like on film that I didn't love. I will say I thought he popped a little bit yesterday. He had a couple of really nice catches down the field. We know that they love to do those compete periods at the end of practice where everybody's watching and it's like, oh, like, the loser does up downs, so it's like, all right, everybody's all invested, all eyes on you. And Josh Cameron came out and made a big play, going to the ground, tight coverage down the field. So, Cameron would be another player that certainly stood out in day one.
And then the other two guys you wanted to highlight, Fran, I was surprised by it only because linebacker, typically a difficult position to evaluate in these practice settings. So what was it about the two guys who stood out that made you notice?
Yeah, honestly, as I've been going through this draft class in general, it does feel like the linebacker group was a pretty good group, comparatively, contextually compared to other years. And I think that the Senior Bowl group kind of speaks to that overall. The two guys that I would want to highlight, one from the national team and the first practice, that's the Clint Hurt team. That would be Kyle Lewis from Pitt. Highly athletic, and honestly, for Eagles fans, like the best way I could describe him would be like, imagine if Davion Taylor had like a proven track record of being a productive college football player. That's kind of what that's the skill set. That's what we're talking about, right? Where like he played a lot in the slot. He did play by, close to the line of scrimmage and in the box sometimes. So it wasn't like he completely only played out in space, but highly athletic. He had an interception in one-on-one drills where he stepped in front of a Texas route, over the middle of the field. He looks effortless playing in coverage. But the big thing that I want to see from him, because on tape he does not take on one block. Like you watch him on film, like does not do it. So that's honestly the biggest area for growth. Does he do that a little bit in these drills? Like that's something that you don't typically see in an all-star setting, to your point. That's why, it's tough to gauge linebackers, but that would be one. Then the other one going to the other side, the American squad, would be Keyshawn Elliott from Arizona State, who initially was committed to go to the Shrine Bowl, but got that Senior Bowl offer, and so ended up coming down here to Mobile instead. He is built more like TJ Edwards, and honestly, that's one of the comps that I've gotten written down for Elliott is TJ Edwards. When you talk about his size, his instincts, his toughness, I mean, he extremely physical throughout the course of practice. It felt like every single time he was on the field, like he was letting the ball carrier know about it. He's a fun player. He's like constantly around the football.
All right, I have one other thing to ask you about, Fran, because everybody should pay attention to you about all this draft stuff. But I do have an Eagles question for you, because I have a memory, and tell me if I'm wrong about this.
Okay,
I have a memory of doing Sean Mannion with you back in 2015.
Probably right. Yeah. It's probably right.
And now all of a sudden we're sitting here and, he could be the next Eagles offensive coordinator. And so what I did, I just pulled up your rankings from 2015.
Okay,
Would you like to hear?
Do the same thing. All right, so help me out here. Okay.
Would you like to know where? So I'm gonna give you the top 10 quarterbacks here.
Oh, no.
Okay, 2015. Number 1. I think this reflects pretty well on you. Terrible class of quarterbacks. Right. Number 1, Marcus Mariota.
Okay.
Number 2, Jameis Winston.
Yeah.
Number 3, Gary Grayson. Remember you loving Gary Grayson.
Yeah, I know.
I'm telling you, like, you did a good job here, and these are terrible quarterbacks.
Yeah.
Number 4, Hudson Mason. Number 5, Brandon Bridge.
Yeah. Someone brought up Brandon Bridge to me last week, actually.
That's funny.
Yep.
Number 6, Brett Hundley.
Yep.
Number 7, Sean Mannion. And it's very funny to see how much dark red there is here in his testing numbers. Number 8, Bryce Petty. Number 9, Blake Sims. Number 10, Taylor Heineke. But here's your bottom line on Sean Mannion, and I think you can see where this is all coming from. A safe bet to stick in the NFL as a backup. Arm limitations and accuracy issues hurt his starting upside. A smart, high-character touch thrower and son of a coach, and should play for years. And the more in-depth analysis is talking about how he sees things well, processes quickly. You knew that this was a guy who maybe had coaching.
Future OC had it written all over.
Future coach.
What would you think of that hire?
Yeah. I definitely would be. It falls under the Devin Doyle specter of like, I'm definitely interested in talking to him. Obviously, we aren't talking to him. I would be interested to see like what his thoughts are, what his identity would be from an offensive design standpoint. He's been around some great coaches, not just as a coach, but also as a player. I'm definitely intrigued by that.
Okay, well there you have it.
Are you gonna go to Cookout for lunch? Are you a load of beer garden, man? Like, where is a spot in Mobile that you're excited to go to?
So my go-to yesterday. Here's the thing. Okay. This is the first time in a long time where practices are now in the afternoon.
Yeah.
So if you do lunch, you're loading up and you got to sit in the stands. You got to work for a few hours. As opposed to before, it would be like morning practices. You go and get your lunch, and that like you can go nuts, and then you're going back to the room. Yesterday, I went and I got barbecue from my favorite place, and I will give this place free pub because it's my favorite barbecue. Meat Boss down here in Mobile, close to the university, close to where the practices are. Just phenomenal. I went with pulled pork with on a sweet roll with white barbecue sauce, like the Alabama, like the white barbecue.
Nice.
That's phenomenal. Actually got a bottle of the sauce to bring home.
Nice.
So that was a mandatory purchase. So so that was my go-to yesterday. We'll see. I might try and make it for some seafood this after before I get over there, but practice
Ooh.
starts in about 90 minutes. I don't know if I'm going to be able to make that. It might be a quick lunch day.
All right. Well, Fran, we look forward to talking to you tomorrow as well. Thank you so much for joining us here. Everybody stay tuned to Fran's social media and check out all of his content on allphly.com. Back with more here on the PHLY Eagles podcast.
Elkins Chevrolet is run by three brothers. Tres Hermanos. Trois frères. That's right. And we're not talking fake brothers. We are talking real brothers at Elkins Chevrolet. And by the way, big-time Eagles fans, local guys. And right now, they are lining up the deals that are hard to beat. They've got a huge inventory of Chevy trucks and SUVs, everything people actually want to drive, and the prices, well, they're moving fast. So if you've been thinking about it, now is the time. Whether it's getting to the game, getting to work, or just getting out of town for a bit, you will drive off in the perfect ride at the perfect price. And here's the thing. This is not just a one-and-done kind of place like the Eagles playoff trip. No. These are the guys that you go back to because they treat you right, no runaround, no games, just real people, real deals. Elkins Chevrolet, real brothers, real deals, and a whole lot of honking good service. Route 73 South in Marlton. Together, let's drive. Everybody's got their favorite hard tea. But have you ever turned the can to read what's inside? You can't, because some of those other schmohawks, well, they don't tell you. And while they hide what's inside, Crooked Tea brags about it. Crooked Tea brews real USDA organic tea for real flavor and zero sugar. No fake junk hiding behind the label. What you see is what you drink. So next time you're at the store, flip that can right over. And if you can't find the ingredients, just put it back. And then grab a Crooked Tea, because it's got zero sugar, real tea, and it's fully transparent. You know what Philly real recognize real, so why drink the fake stuff? No posers. Crooked Tea. The only thing better than that is a strip sack in the Super Bowl. CrookedTea.com to find a store near you. I know this is not the Crooked Tea we're talking about. That's a nice drawing. Not the hard tea you want. Crooked Tea!
You're muted.
Hello, everybody. We're back on the PHLY Eagles podcast. Just one last technical difficulty to top them all off for today's cluster bang of an episode. That's going to do it. For real this time. Truly, that's going to do it. EJ, great work out of you today.
I mean, I was going to say, like, you don't want me to spend 10 minutes talking about Aston Villa or anything. I could do it, but...
Did you choose him because you want to put the ass in Aston Villa?
No, I don't think about these things the way that you guys do. Like, I say at least one thing on every show that someone takes.
The one yesterday was really good that I'm disappointed that I missed.
No, we're not in overtime. You can't say it because the way you're going to say it isn't.
We're in we're not even in any time. We
are in the space-time continuum.
Yeah,
today.
we are lost to time is what we are today.
All I'll say is we had a nice time. I had a nice time talking to you today, Bo, and that is
me too.
That is what's important. So.
And Lindsay, thanks for doing all the work behind the scenes, despite everything that's going on here. That's all we got. As always, we'll talk to you tomorrow at 2:00. And you know, we love you.
We all silly like the mayor.